Germany isn't just about beer, sausages, and the Autobahn. Beneath its reputation for precision, there are strict social codes that many outsiders miss. For instance, bringing up sensitive historical topics in casual conversation can make you stand out as rude. At beaches, locals might prefer a more reserved dress code, so wearing revealing swimwear could make you feel out of place. Other unspoken rules include not washing your car in front of your house and gifting flowers in specific ways, or else you risk offending someone unintentionally. Public behavior is also heavily scrutinized. Some topics are just not to be discussed in public. Germans value privacy and order, and breaking even one of these norms can earn you a cold stare, colder than a Berlin winter. Understanding these cultural taboos is essential to fitting in, or you might find yourself a stranger in a land of strict yet fascinating traditions. There are 15 unspoken rules and cultural taboos in Germany, and breaking just one could leave you with a cold stare colder than a Berlin wind in January. Number 15. The beach where wearing clothes is forbidden. In Germany, you might be shocked to learn that wearing clothes at the beach could actually get you called out. This is because Germany is home to one of Europe's oldest and most serious body freedom cultures, known as FKK, Freikörperkultur, where nudity isn't just accepted, it's an unspoken rule. In FKK-designated areas, being naked is the norm, and if you walk into a public sauna wearing a swimsuit, expect some puzzled stares. Around 600,000 Germans are official members of body freedom clubs, and millions more unofficially embrace this lifestyle. Germans are the largest group of tourists at nude beaches in places like Croatia, France, and Spain. But it's not just limited to beaches. You'll find this culture at resorts, parks, and even hiking trails in the countryside, where you might spot people jogging in nothing but sneakers and a small backpack. This isn't a joke. It's a lifestyle, deeply respected and even protected by law. How would you feel if you had to strip down to fit in? Would you dare try a nude beach in Germany? Number 14. The one taboo you should never mention in Germany. In Germany, mentioning the Nazis is no laughing matter. It's one of the most serious taboos in both social and legal contexts. Symbols like the swastika, wearing Nazi uniforms, or even making the infamous Hitler salute can lead to severe consequences. Sections 86 and 130 of the German Criminal Code make clear that such actions are punishable by law, including imprisonment. This strict regulation extends beyond everyday life into the digital realm. For instance, in 2018, a man in Berlin received a 10-month suspended sentence for posting a photo of Hitler on Facebook. Even video games like Wolfenstein were banned from displaying Nazi symbols until 2018. Tourists have also found themselves in trouble. A drunk American tourist in Munich was arrested for performing the Nazi salute outside a bar and was slapped with a $4,000 fine. Even selling Nazi-era antiques can trigger investigations if your motives are unclear. This reflects the country's commitment to confronting its past. But how would you feel if a place welcomed you without truly accepting you? Have you witnessed anything like this where you live? Number 13. Behind the glowing 11-story building are nameless girls. In Germany, the adult entertainment industry is legal and heavily regulated, with workers required to register, pay taxes, and receive health benefits like any other profession. Since 2002, the law has aimed to protect those in the industry, but behind the regulations lies a much darker reality. In Cologne, the infamous Pasha building stands as a symbol of this thriving yet troubling industry. With 120 rooms, a gym, a restaurant, and even a private parking lot for VIP guests, it attracts thousands of customers every day. The revenue from places like Pasha can reach millions annually, contributing to Germany's $15 billion adult industry market, the largest in Europe. However, the workers' lives are far from glamorous. Many of the women come from poor European countries like Romania, Bulgaria, and Ukraine, often aged 20 to 25, and they face long hours, 12 to 14 hours a day. They don't speak German and sometimes aren't allowed to refuse customers, forced to smile and please even when they're scared. Despite the law requiring health checks twice a year, many women remain unlicensed, fearing deportation or feeling trapped with no other option. The reality behind the law is a harsh life for these women, often overshadowed by the money and glamour surrounding the industry. Number 12. Refugees. Legally settled, but not truly welcomed. Imagine living in a country for over 10 years, working hard, paying taxes, and following the law, yet being denied a place to live simply because your last name isn't German. This is the harsh reality for many immigrants in Germany, a country that proudly takes in the most refugees in Europe. Since 2015, when Chancellor Angela Merkel declared, "We can do it," over 1 million refugees, mainly from Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, have sought safety in Germany. The country offers generous support, monthly allowances, housing, health insurance, and free language and vocational classes. But behind this humanitarian image lies a different story. Immigrants, even those with citizenship, often feel excluded from German society. Despite their legal status, they struggle to make friends, rarely get invited to social events, and face discrimination in public spaces. Their children often face teasing at school, not for their actions, but for the simple fact that their parents don't speak perfect German. Living conditions for refugees can also be bleak. Many are forced to live in temporary shelters, old army barracks, or converted warehouses with dozens of others, sharing tight spaces. While they receive support, they remain in a gray area, helped but isolated. For those who decide to return home, the German government offers up to $2,700, a plane ticket, and resettlement help. Some refugees return to Germany months later, seeking a new life as students or through marriage, hoping for a fresh start. Number 11. Silent Sundays. When shopping and entertainment dreams come crashing down, just landed in Berlin craving some fresh bread on a Sunday night? Sorry, the doors are locked. In Germany, Sunday is considered sacred, quiet time. It's not just Sundays, though. Every day from 1 to 3 p.m. and from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., you'll experience what locals call Ruhezeit, quiet time. During these hours, the rules are strict. No drilling, no lawn mowing, no blasting music, and no throwing loud parties, even in your own home. A vacuum cleaner could even spark complaints, and the police might show up if your noise disrupts the peace. Stores, malls, supermarkets, and even food stalls are closed on Sundays. If a small shop dares to open, it could be fined up to $2,700, especially in conservative regions like Bavaria, where rules are enforced more rigorously. But why such a rule? It's all about balance. Germany values rest as much as work. Sundays are sacred, meant for family visits, walks in the park, attending church, or simply unwinding. The idea is that real relaxation comes from disconnecting, not running errands. There are exceptions, though. Hospitals, police stations, fire departments, and some sports centers can still operate, keeping the peace while the rest of the country enjoys a break. Number 10. Dating. But love is still a distant dream. In Germany, dating doesn't always lead to a relationship, and it's not just a rare case. It's the unspoken rule. You could spend months with someone, go on trips, meet their parents, and share countless dinners together. But when you ask, "What are we to each other?" you might just hear, "We're still getting to know each other." It's a concept known as probab, a phase that typically lasts 3 to 6 months, where both people can date others as long as they're upfront about it. There's no boyfriend-girlfriend label, no pressure for constant texting, and no grand promises. This laid-back approach to relationships comes from Germany's practical mindset. There's no rush to define things, and not texting every day is completely normal. It's all about seeing where things go without jumping into emotional commitments too quickly. Interestingly, in a market where over 70% of Tinder users are men, foreign women are especially sought after, but are also more likely to end up in these in-between relationships. Some even live together in shared apartments under clear agreements, cooking and cleaning together, yet still remain single with no emotional obligations. It's a unique, no-pressure approach to dating that's both refreshing and, for some, a little puzzling. Number 9. German men. Sitting down to pee. A surprising twist in bathroom etiquette. In Germany, the simple act of standing up to pee could actually land you in trouble. It sounds bizarre, but in 2015, a man was sued for $3,300 after allegedly damaging a wooden floor in his rental apartment by peeing standing up. The landlord claimed that the urine splashed and caused permanent damage. While the court sided with the tenant, it also highlighted a cultural norm in Germany. Sitting down to pee is considered not just hygienic, but polite. This practice isn't just a personal preference. It's an unspoken rule, especially in shared spaces like rentals, your girlfriend's house, or even small restaurants. In fact, you'll often see signs in bathrooms that say, "Bitte sitzen," please sit, encouraging people to pee sitting down. Some places even have sensors that play a reminder if someone tries to stand up to pee. It's all about respect for the shared space and for the person who has to clean up afterward, whether it's a roommate, girlfriend, or even a cleaning service. For Germans, standing up to pee in a small shared bathroom is seen as selfish. It's not just about cleanliness, it's about showing respect for others in the space, especially in private and communal areas. So, if you're in Germany, you might want to think twice before standing up. Number 8. Unauthorized work is strictly forbidden. In Germany, even something as simple as washing dishes without a permit can lead to serious consequences. Unlike some countries where working off the books may go unnoticed, Germany's strict social welfare system sees it as tax evasion and fraud. Take the case of an older Ugandan woman on a family reunion visa. Not yet allowed to work, she took a dishwashing job at a small restaurant. When inspectors caught her, she was fined $90, while the restaurant owner faced a $900 fine. This may seem small, but the penalties can rise to $50,000 for more significant violations. With 10 to 15% of immigrant workers having worked illegally, the risks are real, from fines to legal troubles, making the decision to stay within the law crucial. Number 7. Respect the locals and their space. In Germany, personal space and silence are more than just courtesies, they're cultural essentials. Imagine being in Berlin's subway surrounded by 20 people, yet the only sound is the train's hum. No one speaks. Not because they don't know each other, but because disturbing others is a big no-no. A 2023 survey revealed that over 72% of Germans see quietness in public as a sign of civilization, and more than 60% will show disapproval if you're too loud, even if you're a foreigner. It's not just about noise. Privacy is sacred too. Taking photos of strangers without permission can land you in legal trouble. A tourist was once fined for accidentally capturing someone in the background of a photo. Germans might not shout, but their silent disapproval, eye rolls, sighs, and subtle grumbles will leave a lasting impression. So, if you're visiting, respect the quiet and the privacy. It goes a long way. Number 6. There's proper etiquette, even for sneezing. In Germany, sneezing in public comes with its own etiquette. If you sneeze, don't be surprised if strangers say Gesundheit, wishing you good health. This friendly gesture comes from an old belief that a sneeze could let your soul escape, and the phrase acted as a protective charm against evil spirits. While science has replaced superstition, the tradition remains, much like saying "bless you" in the U.S. Interestingly, if you sneeze 3 times in a row, Germans will dutifully say Gesundheit after each sneeze. However, if you don't reply with a polite Danke, thank you, you might get a curious or slightly disapproving look. It's a small but meaningful part of German culture that shows how every little interaction counts. Number 5. Found something lost? Hang it on a tree. If you drop something like a glove, scarf, or hat, don't panic. It might not be gone for good. Instead of keeping it or handing it over to the police, Germans have a unique tradition of hanging lost items on tree branches, park benches, or fences. It's a small but thoughtful act of kindness. In Berlin, you'll often find lost property trees on the streets, adorned with everything from a forgotten kid's hat to a single glove or even a winter coat, neatly hung like an item in a store. Locals even have a name for these trees: Fundbaum, or lost property tree. According to a survey, over 78% of Germans say they would return a found item. In some neighborhoods, people even set up special hooks near train stations to help lost items find their way home. It's a heartwarming example of community care and respect for personal property. Number 4, you're required to pay for public broadcasting, even if you don't watch TV. The rule is simple. If you have an address, you must pay for public broadcasting, even if you don't own a TV or radio. Since 2013, every household has been required to pay a monthly fee of around $20, regardless of whether you watch TV, listen to the radio, or only use your phone for internet. This law, known as Rundfunkbeitrag, funds public broadcasters like ARD, ZDF, and Deutschlandfunk, ensuring everyone has access to unbiased information. But be careful. Forgetting to register or trying to avoid the fee can result in hefty fines and back payments. One international student learned this the hard way when he was asked to pay nearly $800 for not registering for 3 years, even though he only used a laptop for online classes. Even if you only use a phone, tablet, or laptop, you're still required to pay, since these devices can access public broadcasting content. There are exemptions for students and low-income individuals, but you need to apply. They aren't automatic. So, if you're living in Germany, make sure you register, or you might be in for a costly surprise. Number 3. Washing your car at home is not allowed. In the U.S., it's common to see someone washing their car in the driveway, shirtless, with a hose. But in Germany, that's not just unusual, it's illegal. Due to strict water protection laws in many German states, washing your car at home, especially with soap or chemicals, is forbidden. The runoff from cleaning your car can pollute the water system, and even rinsing off dust without a proper drainage system can result in a fine. In places like Bavaria, fines for repeated violations can reach as high as $50,000. Instead of washing at home, Germans are encouraged, and in many cases required, to use automatic or self-service car washes that use water filtration systems. There are over 15,000 licensed car washes in Germany, many of which recycle up to 80% of the water used. Enforcement is strict. Neighborhoods have cameras, and locals report anyone washing their car outside. Some cities even print flyers to remind you that washing your car at home is not only a waste of water, but also illegal. Number 2. Avoid giving red roses to women. Giving red roses isn't always a romantic gesture. It could lead to an awkward situation or even be seen as borderline harassment. Unlike in many places where red roses symbolize love, in Germany, they are strongly associated with romantic affection. If you give them to a coworker, neighbor, or someone you don't know well, it might send the wrong message. Many foreigners have unintentionally offended someone with a bouquet, not understanding the local customs. A 2021 survey found that nearly 62% of women feel uncomfortable receiving red roses from someone they aren't close to, and 18% find it awkward or even flirtatious. So, if you want to give flowers in Germany, choose something like tulips, which symbolize admiration, or sunflowers, representing positivity. White roses, symbolizing elegance and sincerity, are also a safer bet. It's all about reading the room. Number 1. The symbol of the lucky pig. Do you believe that a little pig could bring you luck for the entire year? In Germany, it's a tradition you'll see everywhere every New Year's. Chubby pink pigs on gifts, candy, and greeting cards. It's not just for fun. These pigs are called Glückwein, or the lucky pig. The tradition dates back to the Middle Ages, when owning a fat pig symbolized wealth and prosperity. In those old farming communities, having a lot of pigs meant you were rich, and receiving a pig as a New Year's gift was considered a treasure. Over the years, the pig evolved into a symbol of good luck and fortune for the year ahead. Today, Germans often exchange little pigs made of chocolate, marzipan, or porcelain, wishing each other a year of abundance. In fact, the German Confectionery Association reports that over 40 million pig-themed New Year's gifts are sold each year, particularly in regions like Bavaria. Some rural areas even host Glücksschwein festivals, where real pigs are decorated with red ribbons, race each other, or pose for photos with visitors as part of the New Year's festivities. Would you like to bring this adorable tradition home and start the year off with a little lucky pig?